time, but here is the good news, Eli. You got 2 answers correct, so you're going home with $2,000. Congratulations, and thanks for playing our game. We'll see you next time on Trivial Pursuit, where knowing stuff is celebrated, but you don't have to take my word for it. I'll see you next time.
This is Bill Belichick. Catch Inside the NFL, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central on the CW.
Now at 10 months after a doctor is gunned down outside his Woodland Hills office, his ex-wife is under arrest, accused in his execution-style murder.
Plus, returning home after the flames, many residents in Malibu allowed back into their neighborhoods. Some lost everything. We have the latest on the Franklin fire.
And mystery in the skies. New drone sightings detected along the East Coast. Some SoCal residents seeing the strange lights here, too. Unraveling the mystery now on the news at 10. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Sandra Mitchell. And tonight for Cher Calvin, 4 days after the devastating Franklin fire started, crews are finally making progress with containment increasing and some evacuation orders are being lifted.
But while some residents are being allowed to return to their homes, others have nothing to go back to. KTLA's Rick Chambers in Malibu with reaction from residents and business owners tonight. Rick?
Yeah, Micah, we're just outside the Country Mart here in Malibu tonight. They actually had some sprinkles of rain earlier today, and you couple that with the cold temperatures, and the fire really didn't have a chance to grow at all today. In fact, there's very little of that fire left at this point, so people are coming back, and there is a sense of community here on display. Residents gather for a post-fire community dinner tonight outside Malibu Potteries. Jamie Contempas is there on the grill. His friends protected his new jewelry business from the flames.
So I thought the best thing I could do is get back in here, make a steak dinner for everybody.
From Monday night to Wednesday morning, a lot of folks here in the hills thought they might lose everything. Rivers Red Clay and Daniel O'Neill certainly did.
Yeah, it got pretty spooky, yeah.
In what way?
In that we thought we were going to die, basically. It was a life or death kind of situation.
We're so lucky, and I'm so grateful for the firefighters and for the people that stayed behind.
And that was true for Dick Van Dyke as well. He told NBC News he had to be rescued.
3 neighbors came and carried me out and came back and put out a little fire in the guest house and saved me.
Thankfully, no one lost their lives or was seriously injured in the fire. But sadly, 4 homes did burn and another half dozen were heavily damaged.
So lucky. It felt like a 50-50 chance, really.
Matthew Ryder and his girlfriend Jessica got their first look this morning at the damage around their farm. Flames came within 50 yards, but a neighbor's house burned to the ground.
One little shift of the wind, one ember could have caused it to go up, so definitely felt really lucky that it didn't hit.
What survived in Malibu this week was dictated in large part by those winds. And as Matt said, a shifting here or there, deciding so many futures.
So it's really tough, and it's a very sobering confrontation with the power of nature in a situation like this.
And be aware that unless you live here, there are still a lot of roads that are closed around Malibu, but containment now is up over 30%, and we expect that to grow dramatically again tomorrow. In Malibu, I'm Rick Chambers. Guys, I'll throw it back to you in the studio.
Rick, thank you. Kai is in for Vera tonight with a look outside at conditions as they stand at 10.
Yeah, indeed, guys. Hey, you know, Rick mentioned it there in his story while he's out there in Malibu, the fact that they did have a little bit of some light drizzle, some sprinkles, some precipitation, and just enough to add into the atmosphere a little bit more of that moisture. And much of Southern California has seen a rather unsettled and a rather fall-like day here in Southern California. Still have a lot of that cloud cover coming off the ocean right now at this hour, even up into the high desert communities, which is under wind advisory. We'll talk about that momentarily. But again, this is really good news in terms of our fire weather danger as we see the relative humidity values surging into the 80s throughout much of Southern California, 86% in Ontario. Van Nuys right now at about 83%. We'll look forward to the downtown Los Angeles area at about 80% as well. So things really turning the corner in terms of improved conditions for firefighters out there on the Franklin fire. Winds quite light tonight. We've got an interesting forecast as we head into the weekend. I'll be back in just a few minutes and I'll break it all down for you. Back to you.
All right, Kai, thank you. A shocking twist in the execution-style shooting. All right, we're going to move ahead to this story, and it's breaking tonight at 10 o'clock in Sawtell, where at least one person is dead after a violent multi-car crash. It happened just before 8:15 tonight at the intersection of Centinela and Olympic. Sky 5 over the scene as first responders were working to sift through the mangled wreckage. Fire officials tell us one person died at the scene. Another is critically injured. Officers are now working to determine the cause of the crash.
And newly released security video now shows a hit-and-run suspect fleeing the scene of a crash late last month. The LAPD says that white Dodge Charger that struck and killed a pedestrian, that was on November 27th in Arleta. Investigators say the Charger was traveling at a very high rate of speed westbound down Terabella Street when it struck a 57-year-old man in an unmarked crosswalk near Dorrington Avenue. Paramedics pronounced the victim dead at the scene. That suspect raced away with clear damage to the hood of the vehicle. Police say the car was located in a parking lot in the 89,000 block of Woodman Avenue. That was on November 29th.
The mystery of the sky is deepening tonight after hundreds of drone sightings are reported in New Jersey, causing a lot of concern. And now some residents here in Southern California are seeing strange lights above their homes. Samantha Cortese reports.
Lights. Okay, we love it. So what is this? I'm just hanging out.
In Redondo Beach Wednesday evening, something in the sky that looks a lot like the swath of drones sighted all over the Northeast. KTLA viewer Zeus sent us this video saying it was stationary and not a star. There have been more than 3,000 sightings reported to a tip line set up by the FBI since last week. The White House addressed the mystery today.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
Manned, but by whom? That question was not answered.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat.
But that is not relieving any uncertainty. An Army base in New Jersey reported 11 drones over its research facility. Senior lawmakers are frustrated with the lack of transparency.
I've written a letter to the FAA today demanding answers and a much more thorough review of drone activity and a plan in place to take these drones down.
The ones flying these drones ought to be tracked down and held accountable for basic common sense public safety.
Sightings now stretch to the West Coast. This video is from KTLA viewer Nahum in the Antelope Valley.
So if y'all can see, there are drones all over the sky.
People also report seeing them in Temecula, Ontario, and Riverside.
So many. It's like 10.
About 2 weeks ago, drone detection systems at Vandenberg Space Force Base in Santa Barbara County intercepted a drone, which led to the arrest of a Chinese national. No details were released about the man's motive for operating the unmanned aircraft, and authorities have not connected these incidents. Samantha Cortese, KTLA 5 News.
A shocking twist now in the execution-style shooting of a beloved Woodland Hills doctor who was ambushed outside his practice last summer.
Tonight, 5 people are in custody, including the victim's ex-wife. KTLA's Mary Beth McDade live in Woodland Hills with the latest on the investigation. Mary Beth.
Hi there, you guys. Yeah, I just want to show you behind me here. There is still a memorial